And I'll tell you, the way that we got back was that in mobile YouTube now, mobile YouTube land, YouTube, they like, or they encourage you to live stream with your phone in vertical versus horizontal. But horizontal is more visual in my opinion, and I just like it better. It just looks better too, I think. I don't know. I think it does. Let's play around with it a bit, should we? Here. Yeah, I do. I like it better. Okay, so once a day hair brushing. First off, I'm going to start with lotion on my face again. I mean, I do put lotion on my face every day, but I feel like when I have the day off, I'm a little bit better about remembering to do it. And I've been seeing so much people, they talk about like their skincare routine. And you know what? You want to spend $70 on skincare. Oh, it's probably more like $300. This amount of money on hair care, go out, go do it. And some people are like, oh, but you have to manifest like the skincare, and you can't have like a poverty mindset about skincare and hair care. You need to manifest these things into your life. I don't know. Like, it's good to have money, right? It's good to have money. But I also think on the same token, at the end of your life, you could have manifested many different kinds of lifestyles, but is that how you wanted to live your whole life? Is just buying luxury products? Like, to me, if you have the money to do it, you should. But I just don't feel like life is about, like, hey, I like CVS lotions. And I like YouTube channels that have just always kept it real. And there's a lot of people that do. And it has nothing to do with, like, being rich, being poor. In fact, class is a social construct. Like, we're smashing down all the social constructs. Like, we're beginning to be free of politics. We're freeing ourselves from politics and social construct. We don't define ourselves in that box. Like, I don't want to anyway, and I never did. Like, I always thought it was kind of nearsighted, just myopic in a way when people would talk about social class. And it just seems weird because people who actually do have a lot of money that, like, are confident within themselves, like, they're not talking about social class all the time. It's just kind of, it's kind of strange, like, or like poor people that always talk about rich people and what they don't have. I just, no. I just, life lane plate. If you want to live your life lane plate, you got to get rid of this way of thinking. And I feel like you're going to get in all the camps, liberal and conservative. And that's why I think it's time to go on a political fast and an organized religion fast, and to just get rid of a lot of these group dynamics that define your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to fast them out of our lives, I feel like, in order to have a better life. And that's just what I've been doing. Like, I'm fasting these, like, constructs out of my life. Like, I know right now it's really popular for people to say, oh, because of capitalism. But it just sounds kind of like, oh my goodness, very, like, have you read anything about history, guys? Like, look, I'm not some pro-corporate business dude, but in our modern world, I know people like to hate on the corporations and blah, 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 but in a lot of ways, our life is better than it was, like, material-wise, healthcare-wise, than it was, like, 70 years ago before corporations got bigger. And I'm not saying corporations are wonderful and they're my favorite thing on the planet, but I also feel like I got to the point that I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh my god, I hate capitalism, or I hate, because they never knew what it was like to live in, like, communism, like, really. And I think some people know, and you know how I know? Because I have, this is interesting, this is how I know. Because I have a lot of viewers that I've talked to before that grew up under, like, dictatorial communist conditions. So, like, saying, oh, like, what system do you think is better? Like, the libertarians think they're better, the socialists think they're better, the conservative. And I'm just like, no. I actually think, to be honest, I do think we need a different president than Joe Biden. He's too old. He's too old. But I don't think our political system is as horrible as everybody thinks it is, and everybody's just so like, oh my god, this, that. And also too, I'm going to have opinions about things, but I've just decided I want to engage with that less, because I feel like people get so caught up in it, and it just feels so unhealthy to me, like very, very unhealthy. And how can you feel healthy and vibrant? You've got to let that stuff go. You know, anytime somebody says something's this, I want to challenge that. Actually, I talked to an old friend who had a really good point. He said you should never accept, like, when somebody's a little too certain about something, don't accept it at face value. You really shouldn't. I wouldn't, because anytime somebody's too certain about something, I wouldn't accept that at face value. And even if whatever they think that, I just don't think the world is as dire and things are as horrible. Like, there's always going to be a group of people, and it's funny, it goes on all ends of the spectrum, conservative, liberal, and they all have this diet, like they're diagnosticians diagnosing the world about how they think, like, the world has a big thermometer in its mouth, and they know exactly what they're going to do to fix the world. And if everybody got on their, like, idea train, the world would be perfect. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like evangelical Christianity in the 1800s, when it was going around the United States and they were preaching, like, different forms of Christianity, and they're like, if you do Christianity this way, life will be the very, very best. Or just other evangelical movements. And I'm just like, I do believe in God. I believe in higher power. But I don't believe in a group of people who creates, like, this hegemony where everybody's supposed to follow what they say and the leaders are exalted, or certain people believe they're exalted. I've had enough. I've had enough of it, but this has really introverted me. I think all the extroverted people want to belong to groups. They want to be in a group dynamic. Like, people are always like, oh, I need to go out and socialize more. And I'm like, why? I'm actually feeling happier. Like, you know, I've my opinion on all this. Everybody's got different opinions on how